Right, hello. Hello, James, and hello, Marina. Hope you're both having a good Saturday. I am slightly less tired than yesterday, we'll say that much. Hello, Will. Okay. My controller gonna work? Yeah, I'm slightly less tired. We'll say that much. Yeah, just slightly. So we'll see how this goes. Let's see if we can actually get a run to the fish now that we actually looked at it. Or if we're still gonna be... If we're still gonna be like stuck just trying to get to Fountainhead or something. The fish. I was gone to bed like 3 or something, which was better than the day before. It was a lot better than the day before. Yeah, we'll see how this goes. Let's say I'm gonna... So I'm gonna do this now as like... You know, like normal stream time, normal stream thing. And then... Depending on how I feel, I may be back for like a nighttime all bosses thing. Maybe secretly hoping it doesn't go well so that I can finish early, but... It depends on when I would start it. Like if I came back, what time I would actually be able to like be starting all bosses. So if I start at like, let's say 10, that's not finishing until like 5 AM, so obviously I'd like to start before that in case the run actually like goes the entire way. Like I actually want to do all the cleanup and stuff because it's a good run. I say it depends on like when I would be able to start, of course. So we'll see. Like if I'm able to start like before 9, then that's pretty good. But so ideally I'd want to start before 9, but we'll see. Because that's the thing, like if it does actually... If it does end up being a decent run and actually it's good enough to do the cleanup, then... Yeah, it's not going to be finishing until very, very early in the morning. And then we've also got Bloodborne tomorrow, so That would be a lot of... That'd be a lot of stuff. Yeah, I mean, we'll have to see. It depends on... So it depends on, like, what time I'm able to start more than anything. I mean, okay, it also depends on Rykar and patches, but... yeah, I mean, let's not talk about the patches incident, but... I'd say whether or not I do it or like properly commit to it kind of depends on when I'm able to start it. So if I'm able to start at like 9 or something, then I think we'll be okay. Because I mean, 7 hours is just like an overestimate in a sense. Like, the run last week, I think, took about 7 hours real time. And that was like 20 minutes game time off PB. So 7 hours is like a overestimate in the sense that, you know, if the run actually finishes, that will be the longest. That'll be like the longest it will take. Yeah, I've had that happen a couple of times to me, James. Normally you get it like when you're falling, like when you're about to die full damage and then you try to quit out, but I very rarely have it happen with an enemy. I'd say that's been a thing. That's a thing in like every version of the game. If you quit out on the same frame you die, the game just basically freezes, and you need to like Alt F4 to close. But that's just something that can happen sometimes. I mean, I guess, like, say, from a casual side of things, you're probably never going to see it because you're probably never going to be quitting out, you know, trying to quit out when you're falling on an enemy or something. But from, like, a speedrun or challenge run perspective, where you're probably going to be quitting out a lot more, then I guess you're more likely to see it. I mean, for the one yesterday, I think I was already like super far behind, and then I hadn't actually got the grace in that dungeon. So at that point, it was like, you know, by the time I get back here, I'm going to be another couple minutes even further behind. So and then you just end up on cleanup, which it's like, sure, cleanup is normally quite chill, but at the same time, there's like cleanup can be chill, but if you're trying to recover like 2, 3, 4 minutes in it, then it's going to be really like stressful. Space just decided that I wasn't about to sit around for another like 4 hours or whatever it is. Ogre just gets killed because he gets killed. There's no other explanation. Why he's chained up, I don't know. You know, congrats Agility on beating Lawrence. I assume you're probably much of the opinion, as I am with Lawrence, that it's an absolute dogshit fight and I hate everything about it. Except the music. I hate most of the stuff about it. But congrats. Yeah. Good to see. Yeah. It is definitely a boss fight. That's the thing, like, his music is probably my favourite theme in Bloodborne, but my god, the fight itself is an abomination. Yeah, pure luck and lots of healing, that's the thing. Like, I think I always bring 20, like, the 24 vials in. Like, the extra vials room. I think it's the one you get from Emissary. I, like, always bring that. Because I need the extra little bit of healing. That's the thing, like, say, I'd much rather fight Orphan. Because as I keep saying, like, Orphan is a very, like, fair and balanced difficult. Like, sure, it's difficult, but it's very fair. Whereas Lawrence just kind of feels like utter bullshit with some of its attacks. Or, like, having the most random, like, follow-ups. Where, you know, like, an attack looks like it's completely finished, and then he just does another swipe for no reason. So, hello, Pulsed. Hope you're having a nice weekend. Let's not fail this backstab. Like the littler session yesterday. Yep, first Gyobu of the day is done. See how far we can get though. So I mean, yesterday we did get a run past Gyobu. So, like one of the like two that we did. I mean, the thing with yesterday is like, that's the thing, I was tired, I hadn't done any practice, and I'd also just come off the back of like 4.5, 5 hours of Sekiro, so it's just like, I'll give this 1 or 2 attempts, see if it's good in any way. No, I'll give 1 or 2 attempts, see if I get anywhere. If I do, then cool, we'll like do that run, but if not, then, you know, I'm not going to try and like force it and do a ton of attempts or something, which is what happened, so. Don't necessarily think it was a bad day, it's just that, as I said, I'd already done 4.5, 5 hours of a different game. And also going from like speed runs to hitless, where all of a sudden like damage and hits become an issue. With the incident, The old incident. At the very start, like when we first started doing all bosses, when it was just like no resets because like every run was a PB, we actually got the patches grace, like in case we died to patches. And then now we don't, because it's just like, why are you dying to patches? I don't know if I should maybe get it again, because like, you know, we're still not at the point of like death to patches equals reset or death to like Rykard equals reset. I mean, the Rykard grace is different because we actually need it for later bosses. What do you mean it's making you laugh? What? Uh-huh. But we've already done better than yesterday's couple of attempts. I mean, okay, I guess, Will, but... Just find it funny, like, sure. If you say so. I mean, like, I sometimes use it in a kind of sarcastic way. Like, sort of like, sure, like, you know, sort of in that sort of sarcastic. But at the same time, I do sometimes just use it, like, in just, like, normal, like, yeah, I understand what you're saying. So, I guess it's just weird like that. Okay, also, because I now need a Gatchin for the fish, I actually need to go and pick these up now. So before, these were my, like, spare Gatchins that I only got if I, like, fuck something up in Hirata, but now I actually need to get them. I'm just going to try running and see how... Okay, running seems to work. Nice. I was kind of worried I'd have to try and, like, clear some of those enemies out, but... It seems that you can just book it. So I got those before, but only... So only when I messed up something like Hirata and needed to go and get another Gatchin. Yeah, that's the thing, like... Depending on how you say it, it could be like, yes, I understand, or yes, but please shut up. Or like, yes, if you say so. Like... Yeah, it's just how you say it, or like, the context of it. But I just say it all the time. It's usually the second option. I mean, in all honesty, I usually use it for the second option, yeah. I do tend to use it, like, in a sort of sarcastic way quite a lot. Oh yeah, that trick, James, you can do in the current version. Say this is the current version. This is the current patch of Sekiro, and this is all glitchless. So you can do that in... So everything we do here, you can do in the latest version. Because we also do a similar thing for Shinobi Owl that you fight in this same arena. We do a very similar thing for him. You basically, I think you put them in the corner, and then if you hit them at a certain angle, they don't block it, but you can still like hit them for the vitality damage, and so you just kill them that way. I think there's technically one you can do with Emma, but it's not like consistent to set up, or like the ones with Genicho and Ao, you can like force them into the corner. I think there is one you can do with Emma, but there's no way to actually like force her into the corner unless she like walks in there herself. But so I've never tried that one. I said because there's no way to force it, you wouldn't use it for anything. Well, I said that one deliberately. When is this shit gonna end? When is this shit gonna end? Oh dear. That kind of stuff needs to be banished. That stuff needs to be banished, like, right now. I want no part of it. Skills. That is the complete wrong idol. I'm so good at warping to the wrong idol. I've done this so much recently. Just warping to the complete wrong idol. That's more like it. It's too late at this point. It's not really. Still have ways to just banish that forever. Just banish it out of existence. I want nothing to do with that. So see, what is actually wrong with you though? Like... What is with your fixation on a cat that you've seen like one picture of? I think you've seen one picture. Yeah, just one. So I remember I did post something or like show it, but yeah. But even so, like, it's one picture, like, just leave it be. Let's talk about the fucking patches incident or some shit, like, can we, like, can we forget about this shit? Did he now? Mm-hmm. Of course he did. The internet never forgets. I mean, the internet forgets. It's just Will that doesn't forget. Like, Will's the only one that hasn't forgotten. The internet couldn't give less of a shit. So... There is no way to win. There is no way that I can win. Will remembers. The thing is, it's not even something that I did. Like, you know, it's not even like a mistake I made or something on stream. He literally just decided that that was a thing now. Easy. Yeah, Will's just out here being a complete nuisance. Remembering everything. And I cannot wait for Will to play like Elden Ring and Sekiro. Like, I cannot wait to see him play those. I thought I might just be about to fall off the edge, so I didn't have the sprint. So Robert is that dude's son. What significance he is, I don't know, but it's that dude's son. You only lose to mid-air? I mean, yeah. I mean, say, the only reason we kill patches in all bosses is because basically I was having a chat with one of the other, with another like all bosses person, and we basically couldn't decide on like whether sparing him counted as a kill or not. So I think it still says like the enemy failed text and all this stuff, and we basically just couldn't decide on whether it's counted or not, so we just said, you know, just for the sake of clarity, so otherwise people might say, well, you didn't actually kill him, even though the text comes up with just like, yeah, just kill him. For clarity's sake. I mean, even so, it's not even that part that killed me, it's just like the normal fight that killed me twice yesterday. Like, before he even surrenders. I mean, there's probably an hour-long lore video on, like, everything, so... He puts nice, colourful rocks for you to follow. Because that's... He's done that in every game. That's never been a trap, has it? That's never been, like, a trap set by patches. The little colourful rocks. He's always been a very, very trustworthy individual.
まだ埃がひどい。
He would never kick you off a cliff into a pit of enemies or just kick you off a cliff to your death or anything like that. He's Patches, he's a friend, he can be trusted. Definitely. I don't actually know if I've ever really done, like, most of the Patches stuff. I don't think I've done any of the Patches stuff in Elden Ring. Or, no, I've done the stuff in Volcano Manor to get the, Precipice Invasion. But I know there's, like, an encounter with Patches at Shaded Castle that I've just never done. I think I've seen him at, like, Scenic Isle and in Volcano Manor, but that's it. Yeah, in DS1 he chucks you into the pit with the hollows in Tomb of the Giants. And I think he's also in the, like, in the catacombs by the, like, lever to, like, rotate the bridge or something. I can't remember exactly where. Or he's, like, next to the bonfire or something like that. In the DS1 catacombs. I can't remember what he does in Bloodborne. He shows up somewhere in Nightmare Frontier. And he's also the one that gives you the Tonsil Stone in the first place. I can't remember if he shows up in any other locations in Bloodborne. Oh yeah, I know. Oh yeah, at the that's not the point I meant, Marina. Like now that you've said that, I remember that he's like before the boss there, and he gives you like a useless item. Maybe it isn't a Shaded Castle then. There's somewhere like in the sort of Gelmir area, I think, where he like puts some rocks out and then kicks you off a cliff. And I've never done that one. But I swear there is something like around Gelmir where he does that. Yeah, I forgot that, yeah, if you do his quest, he shows up in Shaded Castle and gives you, like, the Dancer's Castanets or whatever they're called. Yeah, that's not even the thing I was thinking of. I don't know if I had to do it or not for his entire quest. Like, I remember when I did my, like, all NPC quest run, I did Patch's quest. But I can't remember if the encounter I'm thinking of is required for that quest. Oh, next to the Ancient Hero's grave. Oh, what, the, Gelmir one? Yeah, that's the thing. That's it. I don't think I've done that encounter. That's the thing. How, like, Patches pushing you down to a low level and all this sort of stuff is kind of defeated when you can just warp whenever you're out of combat. Or, like, warp with an unlimited item whenever you're out of combat, 'cause I guess, like, in the other games you still have Homeward Bones. It's not quite the same effect as him doing it, like, in the Tomb of the Giants before you have the Lord Vessel. I've done that once. Like, one time when I was playing DS1, I was like, you know, I've never done, like, Fort Pinwheel or gone to Tomb of the Giants before getting the Lord Vessel. So this playthrough, I'm going to do it. I'm deliberately going to go and do it to see what it's like. And holy fuck, that was a mistake. Like, climbing out of catacombs without the Lord Vessel is horrific. Even when you do it deliberately and already know it's going to be bad. I think I know what you mean then, because of the pumpkin head. Yeah, I think I know what you mean. I'd say on my first playthrough I had the Lord Vessel, but like one time I decided, no, I'm going to do this like before the Lord Vessel, and say deliberately went down there. Yeah, the Nito fight's annoying that it forces you to just take like half your HP in damage by just entering the fight. And then he like immediately starts with an attack or something, so you don't even have a chance to heal a lot of the time. But that part is annoying for sure. I very nearly hit the ground there. Yeah, he has like the blade attack where it sort of sticks up in the ground. It's a really cool thing. You can dodge that attack just by like two-handing your weapon and blocking. Because the attack only has a hitbox on the ground. And so if you like two-hand your weapon and hold block, it actually spreads your feet far enough apart that the hitbox of the attack just completely misses you. So it's a really like fun little way to dodge it. And it also looks really weird because say the blade goes straight through you, but it doesn't actually hit you. I would say I didn't know that in my like first playthrough or first couple of playthroughs. It's just like something I found out from watching like challenge runners play DS1. Or like watching no-hit stuff for DS1 and things. Alright, monk. Good old monk. Excuse me? How did I fail it with 7 Ash? How did I fail this shit with 7 Ash? This is super risky, this is super risky, this is super risky, this is super risky. Why couldn't you have given me that one? That was so close. I should have actually just been at the very end of the arena. Okay, now I'm actually... How did I fuck this up with 7 Ash? But the whole point of me getting the extra 2 Ash is so that I never fuck this up. I was trying to back out to go and get firecrackers, but apparently she can catch up to me. So I don't understand how I missed this with 7 Ash. It's supposed to be 3. Rip. Even though I messed up though, I'm kind of like... I kind of question how that Homeward Idol didn't work. I feel like that Homeward Idol should have worked. Another like half a second and I would have had it. So if I just ran like the tiniest bit further away, then I would have had it. Still not entirely convinced why it didn't work though. Like I thought I would have been far enough away. Well, I guess that the, I guess the fake monk is another thing I can add to the list of things that I was 100% confident in and have never failed in a run until all of a sudden I fail them. No, the point of the ashes is they just let you insta-kill her. So there's a thing you can do with the fake monk where... Basically, if you use like... So when you use snap seeds, the ash or firecrackers, she like doesn't know about you. I forgot what number I was on. But you can basically sneak behind her, and then when you use the like ash, snap seeds and crackers, if she doesn't know about you, it like pulls her back slightly. It's actually like move slightly backwards. And if you use enough of them, then you can actually pull her back far enough that you can pull her back far enough that you can do like a stealth death blow. And just skip the fight. I'll show it after this fight, actually. Because I think right now we'll do what we did on Tuesday or whatever it was, where I'll go through like each of the bosses and maybe like the odd 1 or 2 running sections, and then we'll do another run, like rather than like doing the entire run with all of the running and stuff. That is an annoying first hit though, like that's the thing, monks should be 100% accurate, but 100% consistent. Deflect it for the flex. Okay, let's go through all the bosses and then do another run. Just to cut out all the running sections. I'll just quickly show what is supposed to happen. Okay, I only have 5 ashes here instead of 7. So this is actually the harder version. You can see every time I use it, she like gets pulled back slightly. And you can just do the death blow like that. Okay, how the fuck did I fail this with 7? How did I fail this with 7? But basically, the more you use, the further monk will get pulled back, which, and you know, so the more like time you have to do the death blow. Yeah, how did I fail this with 7? But anyway, let's quickly like run through all the bosses. We'll go through all the bosses. We'll probably also just do the fish section quickly. And then we'll move on to another run. It just means we're getting all the practice of the bosses, but we'll also be much faster because we haven't got all the running to do. Yeah, this is the version with Owl. You can put him in this side of the wall. And just make sure I get this dodge. Yup. Okay, True Monk next. That is annoying though, like I should not be losing a run to... I should not be losing a run to Fake Monk. Given that it is just a free kill. I said, how many bosses have we got to run through? I mean, I'm not going to fight Dragon because I mean, for obvious reasons. So we've got Fish, Double Ape Demon, Drunkard Butterfly, Drunkard Owl Ishin. Okay, there's Monk. Now let's check the Fish. So this is a much quicker way of practicing than like a full no reset. Because of course I can avoid all the dialogue and like running sections that also take quite a long time. So it just makes it a lot easier. I'm still annoyed that it took me like this long to actually like find a strategy for the Fish. Like where I always just winged it before. And like lost runs instead of actually finding a consistent way to do this. Because that is super free. Like that Fish strat is super free. It just kind of annoys me that like I lost quite a few runs to that. I mean, at least it's a relatively quick death for a run. But, you know, I mean, you could have lost its, like, True Monk or Dragon or something, so it's just taken longer. Honestly, as long as the rest of these fights go well, we're looking pretty good. I mean, the dragon fight is just an auto-scroller, yeah. Like, dragon is an auto-scroller. Like, phase 1 is, sure, whatever. But phase 2 is just wait for the lightning. There's not really any risk. Fuck. So there's not really a risk of getting hit by dragon unless you just completely fuck up. Yeah, that's what I was supposed to do. Say, like, Demon honestly isn't as bad as he seems. I say it's just a very long fight. Yeah, Demon is the longest fight by quite a long way. So it's not as bad as he looks. Like, sure, it's a difficult fight, but there is a very like straightforward response to everything. You know, there's no attack that just completely messes me up. Yeah, it is a really, really long fight. I think that's only phase 1 of 3. It just means you like burn through all your utility. Like you spend a lot of the time fighting him without any buffs, because they wear off quite quickly. So because I don't get like devotion or anything, my Echo is already worn off now. And like that's all the damage we've done. Buffy Confetti lasts for a full minute. I mean, the worst part about Demon is that, like, fire attack. Like, the terrain can sometimes meme you a bit. Like, that sort of, like, fire, like, trail he puts down. Trying to jump over it with the terrain can sometimes get a bit... Like, it might just decide to hit you or something. But normally we're like good enough. Shit. I didn't echo. I mean, if you do get stuck in a corner with Demon, it honestly can be very bad. Because some of the attacks do require like a lot of space. So if you get stuck in a corner, but... Honestly, it's not so bad, like... Phase 3 isn't actually as bad as phase 2 because you get to start with like the big mortal draw. Like because you get to like front load some damage, the phase doesn't last as long. I mean that was one hit, so took one hit at the very start, but other than that it was completely fine. Okay, let's fight Butterfly quickly. What are you doing? What are you doing? That was an interesting phase 1. I did not hear that. I think like if Butterfly just stands in the mortal draw, she's already dead. But if she starts dodging them, if she like dodges the third one, it can get a bit interesting. I think honestly Butterfly causes more issues than Demon. Like Butterfly Phase 2 is genuinely one of the hardest phases to no-hit. If you don't just completely melt her. It's honestly one of the hardest. I'm also quite bad at fighting drunkards. So I can like always do with the practice. Ivata in general has just always been one of my like weak points. Especially farther out, for some reason I've been getting worse and worse at this fight. I used to be really good at this. I used to be really consistent and get this fight like every time. But recently, for some reason, I just haven't been able to. At least I could then. At least I got it hitless that time, so that's not so bad. Okay, just Sword Saint and then we'll start another run. You know. Just going through all the bosses quickly just before starting another. I hate that arrow attack. It's so annoying to deflect. Ishin himself honestly isn't that bad either. That's the thing, like Lady Butterfly is honestly one of the like most problematic bosses in this entire run for me. Stuff like Ishin is completely fine. I think once you learn him, it's quite a straightforward fight. It's still a very fun fight, but he does become quite straightforward. Because you can pretty much just do like 2 attacks and deflect, 2 attacks and deflect kind of thing. And like just repeat that. So we can't reflect the lightning for no hit, so it's maybe a bit more annoying, but yeah, not that much more annoying. Well, let's just start another one then. We go again. The only boss I got hit to in all that practice was Demon, I think, at the very beginning. I got hit to Demon once, and I think every other boss in that little practice bit was hitless. So pretty decent. So let's hope we don't like mess up the monk stuff again. I still don't understand how I messed that up in the first place, but let's try not to mess it up a second time. I'm playing on a PC Magical Wall with a PS5 controller. I mean, Demon of Hatred I've honestly gotten much better at since trying to learn this one. Like I say, before trying to learn all memories, it was by far the hardest fight for me. But I could not do it. Honestly, after learning it, Demon isn't as bad as it seems. Like, it's still definitely the longest fight. But it's definitely become a lot easier, because every attack... You know, there's no, like, problematic attack, I guess you could say. There's a way to deal with everything. There's not one attack that kind of stands out as, like, I just keep getting hit by it all the time. Demon has definitely gotten easier. I mean, I think... I guess it depends on which games you played before. Like, first playthrough, I think Sekiro was maybe the hardest. Like, especially if you played the other Souls games. Because of, like, how different all the mechanics are. I think it can be very difficult to, like, get a grasp of the combat. I think once you understand the combat, and, like, you know, once you're not just kind of mashing the buttons and actually pressing things deliberately, I think Sekiro definitely becomes the easiest, fastest. I think it will start off harder than the others, especially if you've like played the others before Sekiro. But it becomes the easiest, quickest once you like understand the combat system. I mean, I guess especially because it's also a shorter game than most of the others. But I think Sekiro and Bloodborne are the two shortest. But because it's a shorter game, there's like less stuff to know in a sense. Like, you know, you don't really have to know as many like bosses or this sort of thing. So it's also probably easier to get better in that sense. Also from a casual sense because of the reflections. So you can just like fight bosses whenever you want and not have to like go into another new game. So I guess that can also help from like a casual sense of making you better. Because you can fight bosses like more frequently. Yeah, I do kind of want them to... I do kind of want them to try or like do another like Sekiro style game. Like with this sort of combat. Because it is very fun. I can never get hang of BB's combat, James. That's a shame. Like Bloodborne is my favourite one casually. And I love the combat. I never played it like as aggressively as you're supposed to. I think the whole point of Rally in Bloodborne is that you're super aggressive and like when you go hit, you go back for to like recover HP. And I just never do that. So I don't really play it how you're supposed to, but it's still my favourite. I mean, I think Elden Ring is the easiest in the sense that it has the most tools. You know, it has the most tools for your character. Like you have, like even just having like summons. You know, like having these spirit summons really helps. That's in all the different like builds and things also help. The Ash of War system where you can, I think you can have the different Ash of Wars on like different type like infusion weapons. Also, like that's in because Elden Ring is open world. Do you always have something to like go and do to improve the character? You know, there are very few situations in Elden Ring where it's like you cannot progress until you beat this one boss. You know, there's always something that you can like go off and do to make your character stronger. So I think like that sense makes Elden Ring like easier or like more, you know, more tolerable, I guess. In the sense that you never get stuck at something. You know, other games, there are quite a lot of situations where it's like you cannot progress until you kill this one boss. And so you just have to rack up attempt after attempt at that boss. But that's not the case with Elden Ring. What do you mean strongest boss will? Like, lore-wise or difficulty? What do you mean strongest? Honestly, Chained Ogre is actually kind of difficult, casually. Just because of all the grab attacks. Like, because the game is like, yo, this, yeah, hi, this is a game about deflecting things. And then, like, the second enemy you fight is, hey, you can't deflect any of these attacks. I mean, there are like some attacks of ogres you can deflect, but it's like half of this dude's moveset is not deflectable. It's also because like dodge iframes aren't as high. Like dodge iframes in Sekiro aren't as high as like aren't as high as like the Souls games. If I had to guess, Will, I would probably say, and let's say like, I don't know, Gwyn, Vendrick, Nameless King or some shit, I don't know. Maybe like Gwyn, Vendrick, Medea or something. mean, yeah, Sekiro does have a few situations where progression is a bit... But like, some things just open up randomly. Like, if you go to Senpo and go to Screen Monkeys, there's a... Like, before fighting Genichiro, there's a thing in, like, in front of the bell. Then after beating Genichiro and talking to Ishin, it just disappears. And I think there's a couple situations like that where like something random just kind of opens up. But also Mibu, that like after killing Miss Snowball, like the wall just disappears. Laser time might be this evening, Klaus. It won't be this stream, but I might go live again, like, in the evening to do all bosses. So it might be then. Okay, well, in what way is, like, the S3's strongest boss Gale? Like, that I'm kind of curious about. Like, I can see Manus, I can see Ivory King. But I don't see Gale. Isn't he just fighting for it, or...? So this is just going to be more of me not understanding the lore of any of these games. So I actually find Corrupted Monk pretty straightforward, but... But then, that's the thing, on the opposite of that, I also really suck at, like, fighting Lady Butterfly, like, normally. Is that what Gale actually does in that cutscene? Like in his phase 2 cutscene? Because like it's a cool cutscene, but I never actually know what he does in it. See you laser. Take care, Klaus. Oh dear. I'd say I do not know the lore of these games. Like the one I probably know the most lore about is probably Bloodborne. But even then I still don't really know that much. Like, Bloodborne's the only one that I can actually kind of be like, oh yeah, this is why this shit's happening, or like DS1 I have no clue. DS2 I just know that like, I don't know, Vendrick and Nishandra had a falling out or something, and like Vendrick didn't like the Giants or something like that. DS3 is just like, Pontiff went and fed Gwendolyn to Aldrich or something. So the only one that I actually like know a decent amount about is Bloodborne. with like the healing church and the great ones and the vile bloods and all this sort of stuff. Yeah, honestly, Ball is also just a really dumb fight. Like, Ball is one of the harder mini-bosses. Also, I am shocked I didn't get hit there. Because, like, this fight is just, no pun intended, absolute bullshit. Is he gonna... No? Oh, there we go. Took your time. So I really struggled with Ball on my first playthrough. I mean, Father Owl is a really fun fight. It's my favourite boss in the game. I mean, it is a bit tough, yeah, but I mean, it's the thing with most bosses in these games that after fighting them a few times, they get a lot easier. Yeah, I would recommend doing the DS3 DLCs. Like a solid 4 of those bosses are incredible. Again, difficult, but also very, very well designed. I think Ishin is probably my... Ishin's probably my third favourite Sekiro boss. I think Father Owl is my favourite. Father Owl is my favourite, then probably True Monk, then Ishin. I think it's between True Monk and Ishin as to what my second favourite is. Godfrey? Honestly, fair enough, yeah. Godfrey is one of the best Elden Ring bosses in my opinion. Like, fair enough. I definitely think Godfrey is a better fight than Horaloo, though. Like, Horaloo is definitely a bit, like, spammy in some senses. Let's say, my favourite Elden Ring boss is between Malenia and Malekith. My favourite Souls boss overall, for Souls is Frida. For, like, all FromSoft games is Lady Maria. I'd say Horaloo just has, like, 10 grab attacks, so... Oh yeah, Malenia took me a while, that's for sure. Like I said, the main issue from a casual playthrough is always going to be waterfowl. But now that it's no longer like an insta-kill for me, I really love the fight. I actually know how to dodge it. I never... Wait, how many of the Souls games have you, like, played then? Or, like, playing, I guess I should say. Yeah, that's the thing. I always go Dex builds. I really like doing, like, Dex int hybrids. Like, that's probably my favourite type of build. But I guess, like, that means you can sort of... Like, you have much more mobility. Definitely the, like, strength builds. I'm just not really, like, big fan of, like, the sort of massive weapon... Well, I don't really like the sort of tank damage, like, way of playing, personally. Like, I much prefer the sort of, like, hit and dodge type thing compared to just, you know, massive charge R2 and just tank any damage. You know, that's just my own preference. Oh, coming on DS1, oh, okay. I mean, that's like the only annoying thing about Bloodborne is it's such a good game, but it's locked to PlayStation. Like you either need a PS4 or 5 to play it. So I remember my first playthrough, I died to Godric a couple times. Margit and Godric, I died to a decent amount. Because I remember that my first playthrough, I basically just rushed Stormveil. I rushed Margit and Godric pretty much as soon as... And basically got my ass kicked because of it. Before I went off and did some exploration. I mean, I wouldn't be put off by DS2. Like, is DS2 the best Souls game? No. Is it a bad game? No. Like, that's it. My opinion on DS2, I've said this before. I think the biggest downside to DS2 is that it's made by the same developers as, like, DS3, Bloodborne, Sekiro, and Elden Ring. And, I mean, you could argue DS1. Personally, I like it more than DS1, but a lot of people would argue that it's worse. Basically, DS2 on its own is a decent game. It's just in a series with phenomenal games, so it looks worse by comparison. The only, like, super annoying thing, especially for starting, is adaptability. The fact that you have to put, like, 20, 25 levels early on into a specific stat just so that you're... Like, just so that you actually have a dodge roll effectively. But that's the most annoying thing early on. It happened again. It happened again. So the super consistent way of jumping over the bugs there is apparently not super consistent. Cool game, cool game. The 100% consistent method of taking that slightly alternate path to jump over them apparently doesn't work. I've never actually played Cuphead. It's been a game that I've like been really wanting to play for a while, but I've never played it. You know, it's always been one of those things that it's like, oh, when I finish playing this game, I should like I should get Cuphead or something. Or like if it's in a sale, I'll see it and be like, oh, you know, I should get Cuphead now that it's on sale. And then I just never do. I only really do no resets agility if... like if I feel like I'm playing like super badly or just like need to practice on a lot of bosses at once. But generally, like right now, I don't really do no resets and will reset when I get hit. I'll sometimes like do one at the very start, but... yeah, Hollow Knight is one of my favourite games as well. Hollow Knight is so good. And now we're just on the endless wait for Silk Song. So yeah, I played... I don't know, I probably have like 100 hours or so in Hollow Knight. Actually, maybe like 110, 120. It's definitely one of my like favourite indie games. It can't have been 2022. I swear they like first announced it in like 2019. At like E3 or something. I swear it was first announced in 2019 or 2020, something like that. And since then it's just been non-existent. Was it? Okay, even if there was a trailer, I swear it was actually like announced that they were making Silk Song in like 2019 or something. Oh yeah, February. Yeah, I was gonna say, because I remember there was like a... what were the Nintendo things called? Is it like Treehouse or something? Whatever the Nintendo things were called, they had like Silk Song play. That's a funny hit. That is a funny hit. So I definitely remember Nintendo had something in like 2019 where there was like half an hour of Silk Song or something like that, where they showed some of the stuff off. See, it's been over 5 years then. Will it ever end? Does Silk Song actually exist? Yeah, I was going to say, like, 2022 seemed really late. I could have sworn it was before that. I don't know, like, if they put out, like, an actual proper trailer for it yet, but... I just remember it was first announced, like, 5 years ago. So between Silk Song's announcement and today, we've had Elden Ring's announcement, all of Elden Ring's like trailers. It's been delayed, it's released, the DLC has been announced, the DLC trailer has been released, and then the DLC comes out in like, you know, 3 months from now. And Silk Song is just still dead silent. I think in the time it's like, I think in the time that Elden Ring has been announced to like having the DLC released, we've had nothing pretty much from Silksong. So yeah, the wait continues. The GTA 6 of indie games. Yeah. It's going to be announced in like 2030 or something. It just never releases. Silksong's actually just like an experiment to see like how much hype you can build for a game that just never existed. GTA 6 announcement before Silksong. Yep. That is a thing. It's probably going to release before Silksong as well. Because I can't imagine that Team Cherry would drop a trailer and be like, hey, this game comes out in like 2 months. Like, especially with the success of Hollow Knight, I can't imagine that would be something that they do. Yeah, the amount of stuff that has happened, like, between Silksong's announcement and today. Yeah, I think you're about to go into, like, your 3rd presidential term or something, and you still, like, without Silksong. Because I mean, actually, yeah, the UK is... I'm trying to think, if it's February 2019... So we had Johnson, Truss... I genuinely think we've had like 3 or 4 prime ministers since Silksong got announced. And given we have a general election in, like, within the next year, it might even go up to like 5. So... yeah. You've already had like 3 or 4 leaders since its announcement. I mean, in fairness, we did have 3 of them in the space of like 2 months, so... we had 3 prime ministers within 2 months of each other. Yeah, it's like 3 or 4. I'd honestly love for someone to do that. Like, I was going to say when, I'm going to say if. Like, if Silksong ever actually, like, gets released, have someone put together, like, one of those videos of, you know, like, this is all the stuff that has happened between Silksong's announcement and its release. And just one of those videos. All the things that have gone on in the world in the past, however long. Yeah, so we had one for like 40, 50 days or something, and then the 2 on either side of her. I would love to see one of those sorts of videos. All the stuff that's happened since February 2019. Yeah, I think Boris was basically ousted by his own party. Then Truss came in. She resigned, and then we have Sunak at the moment. And then there's a general election, like, within the next year. guess that's... Yeah, I completely forgot about that. We had an entire global pandemic. We could have an entire, like, global pandemic and Silksong's still not release. I mean, obviously, like, it would have affected development in some way, as is the case with the vast majority of games that were being developed over that time, but it's still funny to think about it that way. I say, it had a massive impact on the vast majority of stuff here. Rank... Oh no, not the pandemic ranking. I mean, the plague's got to be pretty high up. Because there was one plague in, like, the, what, 1300s? And then there was another in, like, 1665, I think, in England. I don't know if that one was also in other places. Okay, where's the Spanish flu going? What other pandemics? No. Yeah, I do think the plague kind of wins regardless. I don't really think you can go up against it. Come on. Your country's entire history was almost erased. Ah. Yeah, that is what they can do. Just wipe out an entire, like, country or something. Also, where's my stagger? It must have been cancelled by the death blow. Oh no, there we go. Yeah, I don't think we need a pandemic tier list. I'm sure someone's made one. I'm not going to deny that. I'm not going to deny that they've probably been made at some point. Yeah, we don't need them. I think we've been doomed as a society long before that. There are lots of things. No, I've only done Sekiro no hit. I've done 3 of the 4 endings, no hit, no damage. And then this is effectively all bosses. Or like all major bosses. So I want to learn... I want to do Elden Ring no hit, but I'm trying to get this done first. Hollow Knight, Elden Ring, or DS3 no hit. So if I get this done first is the thing. Soul of Cinder was the original Comet Azure. Fucking Soul Stream. DS2 or Lords of the Fallen, ah yes. The two easiest games to no-hit. Just enemy spam the game. Yeah, I'd rather not agility. I'd rather not do DS2 no-hit. Where are you going? Oh my god, I keep missing. Fuck. Dude, what is this ball doing? That's not even going to hit a wall. Soul of Cinder paved the way for one-shots. Remember the time after Purification ending when you said, I want to do this quickly so that I have all endings done? Yes, I do. Remember that time when literally my second run of this category was 2 hits? That was fun as well. My second run was, I think, Fish and Sword Saint as the only hits. And like a month later, we're still stuck here. It might even be over a month at this point. I don't know how long I've been on this. I mean, I started Purification like on like the 3rd of Jan or something. So that means I've spent at least like 2.5 months, almost 3 months on this stuff. I mean, yeah, the fact that, say, my second run was 2 hits, and then since then, in like the month that's followed, I think I've had like 1 other 2-hit run. If I decided what I'll do tomorrow, no. I still haven't got a clue. I mean, so the thing is, I haven't decided if, like, you know, I still haven't decided if I want to try and do like a sort of 1 stream thing or something over a few streams to like work towards. Or whether it's going to be like a proper challenge one or just something a bit more casual. Still have not decided. I guess I'm just gonna like turn on my PlayStation tomorrow and just be like, right, what the fuck am I gonna do? And just kind of go from there. Like I say, if I do it over a couple streams, then there's always stuff like BL4. Because I've never done that. So if I want to do it over like a couple of streams, I could always start that sort of thing. But yeah, I haven't like actually made a proper decision. And that's the thing, because I'm not as like overly familiar with Bloodborne as like Sekiro or Elden Ring, I haven't got as many like run ideas just in my mind. Is that like 3 out of 4 runs past Genny? Or like 3 out of 5 or something? Pretty decent. Yeah, I guess I'll just see what I feel like doing. Last thing, don't know if it'll be challenge run or more like casual based stuff, but we will see. Kuro, okay. Yes, I considered getting Rise of the Ronin, but I mean, like, it was already going to be expensive because it's 70 quid. But after after seeing, because like when all the sort of like video reviews started coming out and seeing some of the reviews, I kind of decided that, you know, 70 quid was probably a bit much and decided against it. I'm sure it's probably still decent, but I mean, it's an open world samurai game, so whether it is a rip-off or not, people are just going to compare it to Ghost. Like, just because it's open world samurai. Yeah, Wukong looks really cool. There are quite a lot of like cool games this year, I feel like. That's it, like, I mean, that's it, like, a lot of them do look interesting, so I guess we'll see what they kind of turn out like. What was the one that came out like last year? There was, I swear there was one that came out like last year that was kind of like Sekiro in a way. And I think he had like the beast things or something. What was that one called? So I thought about playing that one like at the time, but kind of just forgot. But I wanted to play it at the time and just forgot about it and forgot to buy it. Wolong? Yeah, I think that's it, yeah. where it's still kind of like a level-based thing, but there's like it's pretty much or like similar in a way to Sekiro. And you had like the flags and shit. So I remember playing the demo and was thinking about getting the full thing and just for whatever reason never did. Sekiro started a new genre. Not the Sekiro likes. Oh no. Yeah, I think that's the one I'm thinking of, agility. I think that sounds about right. Pretty sure that's the one I'm thinking of. But in fairness, like recently there do actually seem to have been quite a lot of like samurai style games. Like, I mean, I'm not saying they're like Sekiro inspired or anything, but recently there do just kind of seem to be more like samurai games. Or also like more games with emphasis on like deflecting. I would say I played when I played the demo, I thought it was fun. So, I mean, yeah, mixed reviews isn't always great, but so I found the demo fun. Just never bought the full game for whatever reason. I mean, I guess like the demo is only like the first area, so that doesn't really show like enemy variety or what it's going to be like later on. So if you do end up just fighting the same few enemies, then it's probably not great, but I'm sure it's probably the kind of game that I would have like, you know, I'd enjoy it for first playthrough and then like sort of wouldn't. It'd be fun to like play once and move on type thing. You know, not everything has to become like your new game that you play like every day. So I do kind of think that if I got it, I still would have had like fun with a casual playthrough. I'm sure I would enjoy it like if I got it. And I mean, maybe now because it's been out a year, like buying a copy of it might be cheaper for like PlayStation or something. So maybe now I could actually buy it and play it just for fun. Like if it's a lot cheaper than, you know, what original release was. So I think even if it's not like the greatest game ever, I still think I would enjoy it. So I think that's the thing, like it's very subjective as to like mixed reviews or like those sorts of in the middle reviews are always very subjective in the sense that like that sort of means that some people absolutely love the game and some people absolutely hate it. And so it's just kind of hit or miss as to, you know, which one of those two camps you fall into. The only like real thing I'd heard about it was that like the deflect window was, or also the thing that I'd felt like on from the demo was that the deflect window was super fucking tight. And like for a game that had deflecting as like its basis, it seemed like really small. It's about 50-50 then, yeah. So I guess it'll probably just be like hit or miss, like down to the person themselves. Yeah, I'd say that's like a pretty even split of reviews, even if there are like slightly more negative. Oh, it's mostly the PC. Oh. Wait, so if most of them are complaining about the port then, like, I assume there's actually probably, like, about the game itself, it's probably more positive than negative then. Like, that's the thing, like, if I did buy it, and people tend to review more when I dislike something, true. But if I did buy it, I would get it on PlayStation. Because I'm assuming that a physical copy of the game on PlayStation, like, now would be cheaper. Because physical copies normally, like, get cheap quite quickly after a game's release. So I feel like that'd be way cheaper than buying the digital version or, like, the PC version. I'd say it's another one of those games that, you know, like earlier when I mentioned Cuphead, it's one of those games that's like, I kind of want to play them but have just never got around to actually buying it. It's just one of those things. And that was almost very close to going wrong. I don't think I've ever, like, done a Steam review for a game. I'm pretty sure I've never done one. Maybe like one as a joke or something, but you know, it's never the sort of thing that I've actually like done seriously at all. Like when I don't like a game, I just stop playing it. I don't like put a review on it or anything like that. Kind of shocked I got through Gunfall there. Right, I'm supposed to kill you. Fuck. Okay, just run. I just realised I'm supposed to kill that enemy there and I didn't. But I got away with it. Okay, let's see if I can avoid getting hit by Monk again when we get there. Actually, I guess there is Snake Eyes first. Honestly, Snake Eyes is a bit annoying because the way I set up, you have to dodge the like other gun person's bullet. I'm sure there are ways where you can avoid it, but so let's try and not fuck up Monk if we get to her again. Because that was pretty embarrassing. I'm trying to think of like what other games I've been really like meaning to play and just haven't bought. I'm honestly not sure if there are too many. What are you doing, Wolf? Yes, now this dude noticed me. And I have to dodge. But that dodge is honestly kind of scary. Now, I've never played Dragon's Dogma. And like, I know the Dragon's Dogma 2 came out, what, like yesterday or something. So I honestly don't think there are like that many games that I've, you know, actually like really wanted to play but haven't had the chance to. Because stuff like Horizon or like fighting games have never really appealed to me. I'd say maybe Horizon at some point, but I don't know. I just guess I'm not really that much of like a variety genre like casual gamer in the sense that, you know, I don't really just like play a ton of different games or genres or anything. Also, nice death blow. What the fuck? Like, I kind of just like have the sort of 2 or 3 genres that I like and just play those. I've been tempted to play like the Assassin's Creed games, like some of the older ones, because I can get them really, really cheaply. I think for pretty much every game though that I would play, I would get the like I would get a PlayStation physical version. Because A, like I like physical games because of the cases, and B, like physical versions are generally cheaper for whatever reason. And like I said, like as soon as the game comes out, like a week or 2 after release, it's, you know, the physical version is already like 20% of the, or like, you know, 20% off of what the actual release price was. Also, hello Yama. Yep, not the correct monk, but I'll allow it. Yeah, I saw that. I hopped into that rhythm thing that you were doing yesterday, and my mind just kind of exploded. Like, I don't understand how you actually have a... Like, how you can actually react to that shit. Oh my god. 7 Ash. 7 Ash actually just saved me there. If I didn't have those extra 2 Ashes, that would not have worked. Yeah, I don't understand how you... Yeah, that's the thing, James. The 2 times I did it in practice with 5 Ashes, they were both perfect. And then the 2 times I've done it in runs with 7, I fucked them both up. That's just how it goes. But say, for that attempt just there, if I didn't have the extra 2 Ashes, that would have failed. Like, if I were only using 5 for that one, it wouldn't have worked. I mean, but that's just the thing, like, it doesn't matter how well you do something in practice. As soon as you get into an actual run, you just forget how to do it. Or you just immediately mess it up. Oh, nice. Okay, so you finally got your cable. That's cool. What do you play it on then? Is it like on a phone? Oh my god, what is wrong with me? How did I miss? Oh my god. Yeah, I don't think the fish strat is important anymore. How did I miss? Well then. Today has been another one of those days where I just forget how to do all the basic stuff. Like, how did I miss this here? How did I miss that? Yeah, today has been the day for fucking up everything basic. Wow. For your info, I wrote that expecting you to beat Ape. Mm-hmm. Well, luckily for you, I did not beat Ape. Is that louder? Yeah. I hate that I have my save files all set up at like slightly the wrong audio level. I mean, it is pretty basic, this strat, because you just do a stun lock. Like, I'm not actually fighting Ape, I just do a stun lock. Like, if I actually fight Ape, then yeah, that's definitely not basic. Like, if I actually do an Ape fight here properly... Yeah, Agility had too much faith. Too much faith in me. I mean, given that we messed up the monk death blow twice, and also got hit by the bugs in Abandoned Dungeon, I think it's kind of expected that today wasn't a normal day for runs. Yeah, all of the like normal stuff just went wrong. I mean, we got 3 out of 3 Gyobus, 3 out of 3 balls, and 3 out of 3 Genichros. And then we got hit to a bug, fucked up the monk death blow, and fucked up the ape stun lock. I mean, hey, we don't talk about the gravity hit. I mean, that one was just funny, though. I think, like, fighting ape normally is honestly actually a pretty tough fight. I mean, it was pretty decent, though. Like, I think runs could have been worse. Could have definitely been worse. Now we're just going to do, like, the most random ape fight ever. Like, yeah, I don't know what I was doing there. I'm just kind of prattling about. Shit. What? He came back alive? The fight's not over? I thought I beat him. It said Shinobi Execution. Oh my god. I forgot that was something you could do. Like if you kill him while you're like while he's doing the scream or something. Okay. Here's what's going to happen. I'm going to end stream now. I think I was just prattling about there. I was just fucking around for no reason. Here's what's going to happen. I'm going to end stream now. And I'm going to go for like a couple of hours. And then in a few hours' time, I'm going to go live again. And we're going to do some late night all bosses in Elden Ring. We're going to see if we can do like a late night all bosses run. So that's what the plan is. I mean, in all seriousness though, like Sekiro runs actually weren't that bad. Like sure I got hit to some easy stuff, but they weren't that bad. I would say it's only 6:10 for me now, so hopefully that means I won't be starting it too late. But yeah, that's what the plan is. I'm going to go now and then do another stream in a couple hours' time and do some all bosses. I think even though none of these runs even got past ape, they weren't actually that bad. You know, I only did like 3-4 runs and a fair bit of practice, so yeah, so that is what I'm going to do. So I'm going to head off now. Waiting for the oops all patches run. You might see patches completely fuck me over again in a couple hours time, I don't know. Yeah, I'm going to go now and then I will hope to see you all in a couple hours time and we will see what all bosses is like. So yeah, hopefully I'll see you all in a couple hours and take care for now.